Hello everyone, this is Sam. I'm back again for another video. This time we're going to be using the Genie library designed by Cisco in order to do some network automation. We're going to be using the same lab and specifically these routers, core A, B, and C. They're currently running and being managed by this jump. This jump is to allow me to SSH or SSH into router A, B, and C. Okay. I have again installed recently Genie, and I've been testing a little bit all its different modules and its efficacy in running a network automation. Nice thing about that it runs within the pyATS. Well, Genie is basically now pyATS. It's incorporated within the pyATS Python library, and it works off of it's all about data structure, mostly using YAML in order to parse and actually load, not parse but load, and to access each node. Now these router A, B, and C were the routers that that were shown within my lab, my Cisco modeling lab. Again, as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You have the router, its IP address, and the protocol, the module Genie module or pyATS will leverage to access the device or administer the device. You have your username and password, and then mostly this is very important, the platform. Okay. Now I've wrote 3 scripts. One is general, a show interface. Show interface. Within the show interface, I collect some interface outputs, and then this script this method is used to enumerate those interfaces within a file. Okay, as such, so I have an idea that, hey, I have this many interfaces, and I can leverage each interfaces within the get information interface information script. And then of course I have a show CDP neighbor method that I've written also, again using the Genie library, its utilities, and in this script pretty much I load the YAML file with my device's attributes or metadata, and this file is loaded into this variable, and within this variable I'm retrieving information about a particular device, which would be called this method. This variable would be entered within the get information interface information script, and will be called onto this method here, and then I will connect. Okay, what I found out is, by default CDP neighbor is enabled on the Cisco Modeling Lab network or virtual devices. So I enable it first and I give it about 10 seconds before I retrieve or parse the show CDP neighbor output command or retrieve, right? And then this is a method within Genie which I found very useful, that structures the data into a JSON file, and I mean dictionaries that I can leverage and go ahead and retrieve just the information that I need. Okay, obviously I have this within a try and except block, and I return an error when this doesn't work, this fails. Now the get all interfaces to give me an idea of how many interfaces I have on the router, what interface I want details about. So again, I do load the YAML file and retrieve information. Actually connect to this device in particularly. Okay, and then I create a file in which I export an interface list. Okay, but this is I'm appending, so basically appending and writing. Now this is the main script, Python script. Again, it's leveraging the Genie library. Within this script, basically, I start by creating a file. This is the file that will receive my output, and obviously I start by entering, this is a parser right here, I'm just parsing the file before I start collecting information from the user. Here the user enter the host name, and the host name is sent to there's a method call using the information, the user input or the host name of the device, to get the interface and to populate this interface list. And then I do run a conditional if statements here to make sure that, hey, if you notice here, I return error, and then within this file, if there's an error, then you print this information, right? Else, another method call hostname into the CDP neighbor, and it runs this and return some information. Okay. Now, again, we're loading the file because this YAML file is leveraged for all the connections, right? So again, this device is connected to, right, is loaded, right, and connected to. So I establish a session to it. Now I ask the user to enter an interface in which he's interested to collect information. I run this while loop as long as the user requires or wants some more information. He can leverage it with a continue or quit. Quit will get out of will terminate this script, but continue will allow the user to continue on putting information. Now, this is the information that is parsed. Genie makes it so easy to access each of these items, and the user will write and separate each item that is interested in by a comma with no additional spaces, as stated in this directive. And then I have I store it into a list, and this list, basically we run through this list using a for loop, and under this for loop there is another for loop to parse or loop through the output. I'm opening the file to which I will append each of the information requested by the user to be reviewed later. Now, it's a combination of if the user has entered. So this user input mostly is the information. Let's say if interface is equal to user input. User input is the interface that the user wants to look at, right? He's interested in at only one interface. Let's say it's gigabit Ethernet 1, right? So for this interface, we'll return the information that the user is interested in. Okay, let's run this this script. Okay, so we're going to look at router C or C. It'll take some time because I'm executing within the show CDP neighbor. I'm giving it 10 seconds to send this command to enable CDP. Okay, now you can see this is parsed. I've parsed it so that to make it easy to read. So for example, router C neighbor is router B, right? Router C local interface is this interface, and router C connects to neighbor interface, and this is the interface on it. But in this case, we're interested, for example, let's say we want to look at this interface. Now, the script is asking, hey, selecting continue offers the chance to retrieve multiple times interface information. Nothing new. I've already gone over that. Okay, we'll choose to continue. Now, those are the options that you can retrieve, and obviously using Genie makes it very easy to get to each item, right? Because of how they parsed the items into a JSON, format with a bunch of dictionaries. So let's say we're interested, leveraging dictionary. Now let's say we're interested in the interface address, and then let's say we'd like to see if it's enabled, right? And we want a description. We want the line protocol, right? We want the operation status, and let's say MAC address. Hope this. Okay, then quit. See what we got. So, like I said, I try to make it a little clean here. So you have interface information. You have the IP address. I could have ran through these and break them up into different items, right? But this is easy to. This is not hard to read. Enable true. Description. We have the description. Line protocol. We have the protocol is up. Status is up, and you have the MAC address of the device. Like again, you can choose to enter maybe one of these items. You may not have to enter a list of items, but it saves you the trip to loop through this script. Well, that'll be all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys another time.